line. Oh! Gate now. And, oh! As well. Whale tail! Oh!
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Speed Without Engine, the place where fast-paced action meets pure fun. Get ready for some sick designs, crazy crashes, and tons of laughs. Let's go.
Off we go. One wheel at the front, two at the back. Difficult course. Recipe for disaster, in my opinion, but I'm only guessing. I would have said to these at the top, you are in. Charging down as well. There's a lot of speed. Lot of speed. Through the wall. He's gone. Oh! Believe it. Look at this. The single wheel at the front can't handle it. Oh, look at the pilot there. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Look at the Christmas hat halfway down the course. And off they go down the start ramp. And the first thing on the agenda will be the whale tail. If they get there, they're wobbling and they've hit the bales already. And the wheels are all over the place, look. The wheels have gone already. The two back wheels have gone, bent and buckled and over. Will stick at the top. But the minute you start to lose any kind of momentum and you get side on, the wheels just bend over. So two of them with the responsibility of driving it. Looks like they've got two frying pans as steering wheels. They're going to hit a kicker, which is going to take them into the water. There's the kicker. Oh, the back end came up with the front of all these people and make out you're not bothered. It's that bit there, look. Bang, and then, oh, you start to lose it. Here's the whale tail. Here's the whale tail. Hold on, whale tail. Oh, they've gone. They're out. They're out. No chance. Never really get it back again. Look at it. Oh. When you start to go sideways, you're going over. Ooh. Little wheel at the front is of any use at all. So off goes Jorge. Jaime, Alonso, Nacho and Pepe, the rest of the team. Coming down towards the water. Oh, he's out! He's out! He was so fast into there. Look at the speed, and when you hit that little kicker at the end. Oh, dear, look at that. Cesar, the man with the responsibility. Looks relatively nicely put together, this one. A little bit wobbly. Oh, he's bouncing through there. He's okay. He's down. Bang! The two wheels came off. He's okay through the water, despite a little bit of a scare. Now the whale tail. I'd hold on to that steering wheel, Cesar. Here's the whale. Oh, he's bouncing. Oh, he's gone. Look at the wheels at the back. And then it's when you get to the whale tail. Look how much height he gets. And then the two back wheels go. Axle not strong enough. And that soapbox is getting no further. Of a bobsleigh. Juan and Raimundo are the two on board, and Juan is the pilot with those big pram wheels. Moving down towards the water. This is going to test the strength of this soapbox. Through the water just about. Will the wheels hold up? Hit the whale tail. The wheels won't hold up. Of course they won't. We all know those wheels won't hold up. Whale tail. That was going to be it for today. Look at that. Gone. And don't let anybody tell you that I didn't tell you so. A day where you're scored on creativity, the performance at the top of the start ramp, and then, of course, the time it takes you to get from the top to the bottom. Got a roar through the water there. That was spectacular. He loved that, Victor. Look at his little face. Down we go. Moving towards the whale tail. Over the whale. Oh, look at that. Whoa. Look at this. Height. Bang. Look at that. Straight into the front of the whale tail, and he's out. Spectacular. There's the onboard. Oh, when you hit the front like that, you can't do anything about it. Red Bull Soapbox, shall we? And you wonder, by avoiding the water now, whether it does speed certain teams up as the day goes. But this is a good run for Danny Kloss, fast and happy. They want to be both, nobody else to beat. That's brilliant through there. There's only this one real major obstacle now to navigate, and they did it spectacularly. Stranger to speed, and that's a good time. 1:60. So the tin of sardines on the way down. The two fellas in there, Manuel and Jose, dressed as sardines. I think the longer the completely totaling yourself. kicker into the water, bouncing through there. They took really so fast and so smooth. Here's the whale tail. Everybody's looking forward to the whale tail. Oh, they're okay through the whale tail as well. Whale tail, and that makes such a difference to any run here in Madrid today. Now there's the berm. If you can go high if you want, you don't have to. Moving down towards the final kicker, which after the way they've gone at the top of the course was never going to be a problem. Smoke billowing out of those two chimneys. Down towards the finish, 1:15.7, fantastic, really good. It's all about gaining speed and keeping speed and making sure somehow, kind of movement off a straight line, you're in trouble because you've got so much speed and momentum. That's good through there, very, very good through there. Towards the front when the wheel went. Really good through there. Whale tail in sight. Big bounce, but a really good landing that took the momentum off, took the sting off the landing, the back wheel just about hanging on. They won't need the spare today, that's for sure. A fight to the finish. Got to keep the speed up. Oh, they've lost the wheel, they've lost the wheel. Can they do it? There it is. You see a soapbox lose a front wheel and pretty much stay on the same course it was on before. There's the wheel gone, and they got a long... They've hardly lost any speed, and they've managed to get to the finish. That single wheel at the front, and they're nice and spectacular there with the pieces falling off to reveal the unicorn underneath, so down they go. Look how fast they're going through there. Really good through the water, despite the back end lifting, but they didn't lose any speed. The whale tail next on the agenda. This is the moment of truth, and they're as good through there as any team we've seen today. But the fact they were so smooth all the way down made it very... This is good. Flies over the kick, keep the speed on. Even over the more difficult obstacles, they were brilliant. Crazy Goat Garage, fantastic run. Of the course, this section where teams are losing speed, they seem to be gaining it. Fly 107.8 from their club, and off they go. This one's nice and fast at the top. A little bit of a strange design. Fine. Oh! I was going to say fine through the water, and then the front fell off, but he's okay. Through the water there. And that's where he lost the front. That's where the DJ decks went. There was no more music after that, but he did get right. He is, look, he's doing the brake with his right hand and he's steering with the other one. Whose idea was that? And 1:29.9. I'm looking forward to seeing this one take on the whale tail if they get that far. Just the whole bouncing aspect and that. Lots of speed, and I mean lots of speed. Over the water. Oh, just slower. I just don't know how he kept it together through there. He can hardly see. Wow. Soapbox. Here's the moment of truth. The whale tail bouncing here, bouncing there, losing it, holding it, getting it back again. Fantastic. Spectacular in Madrid today. Look at that through the whale tail. Brilliant replay. Wow. There's another kicker. There's the berm. Oh, he's gone for the berm. He didn't need to. He didn't need to do that. Didn't need to do that. He didn't need to do the berm, did he? Nearly tipped it there. It's going slower and slower and slower and slower, and they can just about see where they're going. Losing speed, dragging the top part along. It was an eventful run, I'll give them that, but they've done remarkably well to get there. 2:01.60. Can do it. You keep your fingers crossed for them. Alfredo at the front, Carlos at the back. Carlos. It's that back left as you look at it that's causing the problem. It's buckled already. There's the water. But they have proved the point that you can have those big bicycle wheels and you can get right to the finish. Moving down towards the whale tail. Hold on, Carlos. Hold on, Carlos. Here's the whale tail bow. Oh, went slowly through there. Slowing up all the time. Slowing. Let's have a look at the time. 1:46. Not sure that's going to be fast enough. Is on the way. And Alonso is already waving to the crowd. And the dog is already looking at the crowd. He can't see, surely. And he's gone flying through the water. What a takeoff at the end. Brilliantly driven and so spectacular. First through the water, and then even more so through the whale tail when he went bouncing through. It was an astonishing performance. Moving down towards the whale. Oh, look at that through there, the whale tail. Really? Look at this through the whale tail. Look how high he is there. Bounce and on and away. And he kept it straight too. Brilliant. Let's see what he gets in terms of air over here. Now that's fine. Still got lots and lots of speed. 42 kilometers an hour. Finish line in sight. 118.6. Well designed. So here we go. Any kind of good run is going to be hugely popular. A lot of thought has gone into the design. Water being the first problem. Ooh, lifted up at the back. Lost a few bits. I think the wheel that's come off is only cosmetic. Not what they were expecting. And it was just the opposite. It's the front lifting up like that, both of them. The water first, and then the whale tail. Still looks a little bit unbalanced, though. Oh, up we go. The front end lifts again, alarmingly into the bales. Some content for the YouTube channel after this. Look at that. It's so unforgiving, that whale tail, when they hit it. And once they get past the kicker, it's just a case of keeping momentum to get to the finish. That's okay. On a gorgeously sunny day. Perfect conditions for the Red Bull Soapbox Race. Down towards the finish. Let's have a look at the time. Very narrow. Alvaro can hardly fit in it. He's got the bike wheel at the front of the handlebar steering. Enough said. Whale tail on the agenda. Holds on tighter to those handlebars. Oh, now he's off. This is do or die. And when that front wheel hit the middle of the whale tail, he got nowhere left to go. There's your problem. And off they go. Oh, he's gone straight away. He's going to go any further. Oh, he's lost it there. Look, you could tell he knew, didn't he? He knew. The look on his face told you the whole story. So they've talked the talk. Now, can they walk the walk? They say they're going to win it, San Benito Racing. They have lofty expectations, and they've got the eyes. Here's the whale tail. Oh, the front wheel. Oh, look at that. The front wheel when they both came out. Loads of speed. There's the take. Oh, it's gone on takeoff, the wheel. And then, of course, the axle digs into the ramp. And over they went. That was like putting the brakes on. Let's see whether they can maintain the speed that they've started the run with. Oh, he's gone already. I was about to say it's not the steepest soapbox. That's what happens when you get an early wobble on. That's going to give him a much bigger time than he was hoping for at the top. Good to keep it going straight. Oh, he's going to go again. Down he goes. The obstacles that are causing a problem, it's just him. Look how little the steering wheel is, and it's right on his lap. He's got no way of turning it again. At least he's enjoying himself. Oh, he's gone again! That's 3. There we go. Bosh! At least he knows what to do on landing now. Euro is the driver. Will thinks this is going to be the best soapbox of the day, the fastest soapbox of the day. Let's find out. There's the whale tail, a little bit bouncy on the wheels gone, front left. He's going to trim forward. I think that might be it. It's that nosedive on the whale tail. It's caused so many problems today. And off they go. For so many soapboxes today in Madrid. Oh, a bit bouncy, the wheel's gone. Ah, it went first. Watch the front right on landing. There you go. Front right went on landing, and then, of course, the rest of it tends to follow. It's a big old box of tricks, this one. It's one of the biggest soap boxes we've seen today. Here we go then, whale tail. Oh, that was good. Well, it was good, but now the combine harvester's dragging on the tarmac at the front. 18 kilometres an hour, which is still faster than some today, despite the fact they've got this resistance. And oh, bang! There's the rest of it gone. There's the kicker, look. Watch it bang off this. No speed, and then just bang. .41.5 for creativity. Not the best of pushes down the start round, which almost had them in the bails right at the very start. It's not very fast, this one, is it? It doesn't seem to be rolling too well. Wobbly, 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 and he's gone. Moving past, I think he might just, did he catch the water? See, now they've found a bit of speed. There's a bit of damage to the front left as you look at it. And there's more damage now to that wheel as you look at it because of the whale tail. Carlos finding it virtually impossible to steer. Both wheels are pointing inwards. Cool, they picked an interesting soapbox as well. All day long they'll have been telling the competitors up there, oh, it's easy, you'll be okay. Well, we're about to find out, aren't we? I'd have that. Get them back on the ramp again. They go, oh, they're going to do the berm, and he wishes he didn't. They didn't just try the berm, they literally went right to the top of the berm. Karen and Christina coming to grief at the berm. Oh, look at that, that's a great shot from on board, just to see how much it flipped over. Race against time, but they're very confident here today. They think that this soapbox can really make a mark, and it looks the part, doesn't it? And no water to navigate now. And, oh, thought it almost flipped it there on the whale tail, and the wheels are just bent in at the back, but it's not slowing them down. Takes the berm. You wonder whether they could have scrubbed 2 or 3 more seconds off had that damage not occurred. 43 kilometres an hour over the kicker, a little bit more damage, but it's still not slowing them down. Such fine margins in the Red Bull Soapbox Race, and that little bit of damage maybe just slowed. 107.3, and the brakes locked on at the finish. Really good to like about this team. And this is the moment of truth, though. You can have the best creativity in the world, but if the soapbox can't get from top to bottom, you've got a problem. Let's see whether they didn't lose any. Oh, look at that! They've lost one. They've lost one. Fernando's got out the back. They've left Fernando on the whale tail. Here he is running down after Rafa. They started with 2. They're down to 1. They've taken on the berm. They lost a pass behind on the whale tail. Watch this. There he goes. There he goes. Hang on. Hang on. Out. Love it. There's the onboard. Look how much height they got, and it's all about that landing. That just shook Fernando off the back. There he is. In a time of 1:19.8. Kinds of different soapbox designs today. We're back to the medium-size-ish pram wheels, and quite a few today are bellowing the smoke out behind. Here's the whale tail. Whale tail will test the wheels, and the wheels hold up. No problem there. Now they need to try and get the speed on. Keep the speed up. Don't worry about the berm. That's an option for all of the pilots today. You could... Very easy through there. Maybe weren't quite fast enough to get the real air, the real takeoff and the real bounce. Here's the kicker. Last real challenge. 39 kilometres an hour. Not quite as fast as... And nice and measured over that. And a time of 1:25.3. Nice and solid. They loved it. 44.5 for creativity. Lots of smoke on the start ramp and a big punch to get them going. Cheering on the crowd, and they reciprocate as well. Whale tail! Oh, yes! That was brilliant. One of the most spectacular entrances and exits that we needed the straw bales to finish it. Look at this. They have absolutely taken off. That's the way you can do it, and if you can do it that way, you ensure there's no damage to the front of the soapbox. If you can land on the back wheel like that, that's brilliant. Look, all about the time, and you'd suspect it's going to be good, 1:11.7. Before they start. Quite a narrow wheelbase and quite small wheels. It's the brake he's pumping in there. Wanted to slow down into the whale tail, but lost a bit. The wheels on the side that are there for show have gone. Oh, he's gone for the berm as well. Not many people have done that today. They've achieved what they set out to do today. Nice and spectacular there through the whale tail. Rare to see anybody take on the... They wanted to do. They wanted to get to the finish, wanted to get all the way. 1:25.2. They won't be joined today by Daniel, Alberto, Juanma and Jimenez. They're all from Madrid. And they're off. One of the smaller soapboxes. If they can combine that with a good run and get decent performance score, then... Oh, that's not bad through there either. A little takeoff, fair landing as well. An eruption, a takeoff, and a smooth landing. And the time, 1:28.77, that's good. Creativity was 40.5. Off goes Space Travellers. Loads of speed into the whale tail, by the way. Hang on, Wang, through they go. Oh, that was easy. That was easy. And it was just because they lost all the momentum. Probably here, there's probably a malfunction after that. Maybe one of the wheels has got damaged. Look at him through there. Oh, look at that. I didn't see. They've got the handlebar steering as well. They're trying to use the berm, I think, there to generate a bit more momentum because they've run out of steam. It's supposed to be a soapbox, not a scooter. 1:59.8, so they just about break two.